come on in. I got to put my wallet in my pocket. My wallet goes on the back of my phone, and so whenever I come live, I've got to take it off, and then sometimes I leave it on the glass mat, and it's like, well, that doesn't need to be there. So come on in, y'all. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. Hey, Karen, thank you for sharing me in there. We are watching Joyce with Creations by J&J. She is just finishing up. She has done a phenomenal job with making a butterfly out of denim. If y'all did not see what she's doing, I highly recommend that that you go to her page. You can go to Hen House and Bloom Company, and you can find her. She is Creations by J&J, and really a creative. She does a lot of really creative stuff, so y'all are going to want to go back and watch her. I want to thank Hen House and Bloom Company for having me today. I'm excited. The theme is Denim and Pearls. I have never worked with denim like I'm getting ready to work with denim, and we will see. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I did make, but that was on a machine, and working on a sewing machine is so much easier than sewing by hand. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So y'all come on in, come on in. I appreciate you sharing me out there, and while we are waiting, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull these jeans up to show you exactly how I started. Hey, TNT Backroom Crafts, thanks for and Creations. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, Allison, I'll wait for everybody to come on in. Joyce did a great job, didn't she? I'm sitting here looking at her butterfly, and what a creative idea. So a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So everybody's done an amazing job. I'm going to go back and watch the replays. I've been kind of busy today. Thank you. So you're gonna be here with me. Well, thank you. Hey, Dagny Hollis, Designs by Amy. I guess that would mean that your name is Amy. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you on my page before. Now, who is Dagny Hollis? Is that someone you know or a relative? Hey, Posh Pines Designs. Good to have you. Always good to see you. TNT Backroom Crafts and Creations. Terry, hi Terry, come on in, come on in. Posh Pines Designs, what is your first name again? I'm sorry, I have seen your name many times, so I know your name by your page, but I don't know your name by your actual name. I used to be a public school teacher, and names are important. You know, in Genesis, Sarah, Sarai, and Abram changed their name according to their relationship with God. And so names are just critical for people. And so I try and get them right. I am not like my mother. My mother could meet somebody once and 25 years later know their name and everything about them. I'm a numbers person. I taught math for 8+ years in public school, and then God called me to be a stay-at-home mom. And I love that. Oh, I bet they love having their name in your page. What a tribute to them. That's pretty cool. So I like to hear the back history of people's page names. My page name comes from the book of John, chapter 6, verse 12, when Jesus was feeding the 5,000. And after he had finished feeding them, he told the disciples to go back and pick up the leftovers so that nothing was wasted. And I had never seen that part of the feeding of the 5,000 before, and then one day it just kind of popped off the page, and I was like, I've never seen this. And you know, we always think of it in terms of the physical, so that the food wasn't wasted. But my son and I, we had actually an 1.5-hour ride together, and we did like a Bible study the whole way there, just talking back and forth what we thought the different things meant, and just kind of work. I don't know, we get into a lot of really deep discussions, I guess you could say. And so we realized that when Jesus said so that nothing was wasted, he wasn't just talking about food. He was talking souls. He didn't want souls wasted either. And so I thought that was pretty cool. But when I started my page, I prayed and I asked the Lord, what should I name my page? And that's what he gave me, and he followed it up with the scripture. And so here I am, Nothing is Wasted Designs, because all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. All right, so let me get started here. I have 3 projects to do. Don't know how any of them are going to come out. Don't know how many I'm going to do, so we will see. So I just want to kind of show you. This is a pair of jeans that my son was going to throw out, and I thought I better get this party started offline because I didn't know how long everything was going to take. So I did some prototypes last night. But I did those prototypes. That's my hearing aid sticking out. I did some prototypes, but I didn't do them in denim because I didn't think I had enough denim to practice everything in denim. Well, I started putting a needle through denim, and lo and behold, it's a lot thicker than you think it is. So what I have done is I have just taken... And I'm going to take one small segment of this just to show y'all, because seeing is everything. We all learn by different senses, and some people can watch, some people need to hear, some people need to watch and hear, some people need to watch, hear, and touch and feel. So I'm gonna try and make this just a little bit more so that we can, the more senses that we use to learn something, the easier it is to learn it. So I just took a lid, just a plastic lid off of a diamond dust container that I have, and I'm going to take and just draw a circle. Now, I'm sure y'all can figure this out yourselves. I'm not trying to insult you, I promise you. But the bigger the circle, the bigger your flower. We're going to make some denim flowers is the premise. All right, so just put your circle down. Draw a pen, take a pen or something, whatever you want to use. Chalk will work if you have a chalk pen. I have a chalk pen in the back room, back in the back of the house, but I thought, well, I'll just do a pen. All right, so all I've done is just drawn a circle on here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to cut out 6 of these circles. I have already cut out 6 circles, but I'm going to just cut one out just for the sake of demonstration. All right, so we're going to take that. Now, when we got this theme, Denim and Pearls, back, about a month ago, I started looking up different ideas for denim. Y'all, there is so many cool ideas out there. I got my idea off of, some of my ideas, not all of them, but some of my ideas off of Pinterest, of course, Pinterest inspired. Just type in Denim and Pearls and you will just be flabbergasted. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do with these pockets here is you take and you cut this pocket out and turn this. I actually have some reflective, or I think not reflective, resistant heat stuff for making pot holders. You can take this pocket and cut it out and you can turn it into a pot holder. So that's really cool. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get around to maybe to make some earrings tonight, but I've got lots of ideas. You can save this ribbing. You see where the stitching is? Save this, and I thought I had another piece. Oh yeah, here we go. This is off of the hem, okay? So you're going to want to save this. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to fold this back and glue it on itself. And then what you can do is you can turn this into earrings as well. Just take and kind of make a loop. And then, of course, you can add some bling, add something up at the top, you know, some kind of decorative something at the bottom. And then you have yourself like a hoop earring. So Don't throw out the hardest part of, because you can glue this. You know, the stitching part, where all the stitching is where we always end up, you know, tossing that, but lots of really neat ideas. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to just cut me a circle. I'm going to pretend like I'm starting my project. I've added, or I've drawn a circle, whatever size circle. I did measure this because I didn't know if anybody was going to ask me what size circle this is. And it's about 3 3/4 inches across, which would be the diameter. Okay. Now, these little scraps here, I'll show you. I got some little wood pieces off of Amazon, and look at that, y'all. You can take these scraps, and I'm gonna try and get to the earring part of this. I may not be able to put the what do you call, the part that goes through your ear on, because I don't have the right kind of pliers. I need to get the right kind of pliers to work with the rings. But I am going to try and get some of these glued on here just so that we can see how that turns out. So that's going to be another project that we're going to try and get to today. I'm going to take I want these, even though I'm going to fold these, and I am going to end up with ironing these just to flatten it out. I'm going to fold it and we're going to sew it, but I want it to be flat when I start. So I'm just going to iron this on a wool mat. Hey, Magically Rusted Designs, how are you? Welcome. Could use the stems and leaves for, yep, absolutely. And the flower that I'm going to make, you can turn into, you can use those as flowers also. So I'll show you, all right, so I'm going to so now we've got us a flat circle. We need 6 circles for this, whatever size you want. So I'm going to bring my circles in here. I already started this. I'm going to put this off to the side. And it's a good thing I did, because I had a terrible time getting the needle through this. All right, so I'm going to show you how to fold these. All right, you decide which color you want. Do you want the light inside side, or do you want the dark outside side? It's up to you. You get to decide. All right, you're going to take your circle and you are going to, I found that you don't have to do it this way because you can reposition it like I did. You're going to take and you're going to fold your circle up in half. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you are going to fold your circle in quarters. Okay, so you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it in half again. And what you have is you have a curved side, you have the open side, and then you have the folded side. So let me do that one more time for you. You're going to take your circle. I would have this face, I would have the inside of the circle facing me, and then I will fold this up. Okay, this is like you're looking at it, not I'm looking at it. You're looking at this. You're going to fold this up, and then you're going to take and you are going to fold this over, and you want to have the curved side at the top, and then I have the open side to my right, and then you have the folded side to my left. Okay, I am using a needle that I got from my grandmother after she went home to be with Jesus. And these are called sharps. I never knew there were so many different types of needles. When I was doing this, when I started this project, I thought, oh, I wish my grandmother was here so that I could ask her lots of questions. All right, I'm going to go in about 1/4 inch, okay? I'm going to come up, and you can do this anyway. Just be consistent. Whatever, if you go up on the first one every time, then go up on the first one. If you want to go down on the first time, just be consistent. So I'm going to go kind of near, let me bring this in. Let me bring this in so y'all can see me better. Hope I didn't make you dizzy. All right, so this is the open side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in near, you may have to move the comments out of the way. You're going to come in near the edge here, okay? And you want to, all right, hold on. See if can y'all see that? What you're going to do, you want to make, especially if you're working with the denim, I found that if I made tiny stitches, I did not get the thread to move like, working, so I can. Oh God, yeah, we don't want you getting in trouble at work. All right, so you're gonna take and you're gonna do what's called a running stitch, and that's where you weave the needle in and out through the fabric. But with the denim, it's a little bit harder to do, so you're gonna have to make like some really large. See how big that is? You're gonna make some really large passes. And about 3 or 4, let's see, I'm doing, that's up, down, and then one more. And you may have to get a thimble or push it on the table. And then pull this through, and if it doesn't pull through, just take a pair of pliers, any kind of pliers, whatever you have handy, and pull it on out of there. And you want this to move smoothly through this. If it doesn't, then when you get ready to do the next step, it's not going to work for you. All right, so let's do the next one. We're going to, this one, it should get easier. Now, I'm going to intentionally mix up some of these colors here. Okay, I had a really dark, a medium dark, then I had a really dark one, and now I've got one that's a little bit lighter. It was in a different place on the on the jeans. All right, so here we go. We're going to fold this up. We're going to fold it in half. And it's okay if it's not exactly perfect. And then you're going to fold it in half again. And now you want to turn this so that the curved side is up, the open side is to your right, and the folded side is to your left. At least that's how I'm doing it. You can change it up however it works for you. Then you're going to take your needle, and you're going to put it about 1/4 of an inch from the top edge down. Doesn't have to be exact. You just want to make sure that you're catching all the layers. All right, and then you're going to start, you're going to start weaving this. Make sure that y'all can see this. You're going to start weaving this back and forth. And it's tough. It is tough. And then we're going to go one more. And then I found that having a pair of pliers nearby going through all these layers is almost necessary. All right, and then you're going to pull that through. And I did play with putting some pearls in between here because, you know, it is Denim and Pearls. And I wasn't able to get it tight enough the way I wanted it to. All right, so now I'm going to go back to another really, really dark patch. And this is going to be the inside. If I wanted this to be on the outside, I would look at the dark side. Okay, so whichever side you want to be facing out, you need to be looking at the other side of this. Okay, so here we go. We're going to fold this up. And then we're going to fold it again. This is my right. It's probably your left. And you want the curved side to the top, the open side to your right, and the folded side to your left. Just be consistent. However you decide to do this, just do the same thing every time. And then you're going to go in. You're going to put your needle near the edge so that you can catch that edge. And you're going to start doing a running stitch. And I have found with the denim, the bigger, the more space you have with your, in between your stitches, the easier it is for this thread to slide through. And I'm going to try and catch that last edge there. And I'm going to use my mat to push that through. And I don't know if you can see, that's going to be our petal, y'all. This is going to be our petal. All right, so we're going to take a pair of pliers, pull that out, And you want this to slide nicely. If it doesn't slide nicely, it's not going to slide when you need it to. So we've got 4. We need 2 more. So I'm going to go to a medium size color. Hey, Lisa. Let's see who else. Hey, Barbara. Welcome. Let's see who I missed. Hey, Ruby. Y'all, thanks for joining me. All right, so here we go. So we're going to look at the side that we want on the inside. We're going to fold this up, and then we're going to fold this over again one more time. So now your circle is in quarters. You want to turn the side that has the curved side. This is straight, this is straight, this is curved. That's the side that you want up. All right, where did my needle go? Make sure it's not in a knot. All right, then we're going to come in here with our needle, and we're going to go kind of near the edge. We want to make sure that we catch all of those layers, and then we're going to start doing our running stitch. I have found that using a sharp needle, there's a specific needle called a sharp. Hey, Lindell or Lindell. There is a needle that's called a sharp, and it's because it's sharp. It's smaller, and it will go through your fabric easier than a big needle. The bigger the needle, the harder time you're going to have getting through this denim. Ouch. And there we go. And then I'm going to take my mat, and I'm going to use my table or whatever I'm working with. This is our petal. Do y'all see it? Do you see that's the petal? We're going to have 6 of these when we're done. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 1 more to do. Like I said, having a, and thread. The thread that I'm using is upholstery thread. If you decide to use just regular thread, then you're going to probably want to double your thread. All right, so you want something that's going to be thick enough to hold this denim. All right, here we go. Put that down so I don't lose it. Last petal. We're going to take, and you may want to pay attention to the grain of the fabric and make sure that you want to be consistent with that. You don't have to. You can be random with it. You can have it off kilter or whatever. That's just the math part of my brain, is to have everything going in one direction. And, you know, it's probably better artistically if it's random. All right, so here we go. We're going to take and we're going to fold this up. We're going to fold it in half. Then we're going to fold it in half one more time. And then we want to make sure that the curved side is up, that the open side is to my right, and the folded side is to my left. Okay, everybody still with me? Hey, Sherry. All right, and then we're going to take our needle, and I'm going to go up just because I can see what I'm doing that way. You want to go down, you can go down. But you want to make sure that your needle, can y'all see that? There it is. There we go. All right, so your needle's going to come up, and you're going to start doing a running stitch. And you're not going to be able to do little tiny stitches with this. So, you know, I don't think I have to really tell you that you need to make larger stitches. I tried going up and down and up and down, and I could not get the thread to slide. So I had to take it out, and you almost have to do a running stitch with this. All right, and then you're going to go in, and then you're going to go back down. And I'm going to use my table to press this down. And I'm going to take my pliers and pull this out. Okay? And that's my 6th one. All right, so now what I'm going to do, let me see if I can back y'all up just a little bit. Let's see. All right, so let me put my needle somewhere where I won't lose it. I lost my needle a lot last night while I was practicing. All right, I'm going to bring these up to up to the front where my needle is so that I don't waste all this thread. I got a lot of thread that I've used. I didn't know how much I was going to need. And you see how easily these are sliding? That's what you want it to do. If your pieces aren't sliding this easily, you're going to have to probably take it out and start or re-sew them, I guess I should say. Put in, because you really need, because what we're going to do is we're going to gather these together. And like I said, I'm using upholstery thread. I happen to have this because years ago I made a tuffet at a local fabric store that was right up the street where I got my embroidery machine. What a fun project that was. All right, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me think this through a minute. All right, I'm going to take, and I'm going to just move these up a little bit more. You want, I cannot stress enough that you want these to really slide easily. You're going to see why here in just a minute. All right, let's see what we're going to get here, y'all. I hope this is going to work. I did practice last night. I don't normally practice what I'm going to do on a live, but I did practice this. But I didn't practice it. All right, so I'm going to take this out of my needle. And now what I'm going to do, let's see, which way do these need to go? It doesn't matter as long as they're all going the same direction, but I'm going to put them that way. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to bring this in a circle. And we're going to start pushing them together. We're going to bring it, we're going to tie this in a circle. You know what? Hold on a minute. You might be able to see this better if it's on something white. Is that better? It's kind of that dark on dark. It wasn't doing much for being able to see it. All right, so let me pull this. I'm going to pull this. I hope this stretch is going to be strong enough, y'all. We're going to find out here in a minute. All right, let's see what I got. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to take, all right, where is my, all right, let me go ahead and cut this. Let me get that out of the way so that I'm only and I don't need all of this. I'm going to cut some of that out of the way too. And I'm going to take and I'm going to go around and around. That'll kind of, you know how you always need somebody to help you, put their finger there? If you take and you loop your thread around twice, it will kind of give you that extra hand. All right. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go through. I'll pull it through and I'm going to bring it around again a second time. And I'm going to tie it. Okay. And this is what we have so far. Okay. It's kind of tough to get it as tight as I would like. I kind of wished it was a little bit tighter, but this is what we have. Maybe I could, you know what? Let me turn my glue gun on. Maybe I can put just a small piece of glue in between each side. I didn't know what I was using. I'm going to kind of pull this and glue it. I think I'm going to glue it at the same time. I'm going to hold this and then I'm going to glue it just so that I can get this just a smidgen tighter, I hope. All right, so what was that? Let me think what I need to do next. All right, so I was thinking, there's a couple of things that we can do. We can take some, oh, I like that. Okay, this is going to be what we're going to do, y'all. Ooh, I like that. You like that? Can y'all see that? I think we're going to put that on top. Now, if you have more flexible fabric, you could put like a circle of fabric on top, or you could put a big button on top here, or you could put, this is a pom-pom that's covered in fabric. You could put, oh, that kind of looks good too. You could put that in there. So it's really just a matter of what your vision is. All right, so let's try this. Let's see if I got a new glue gun, y'all. I'm hoping this is gonna do what I want it to do, and it doesn't work if you don't put any glue sticks in it. So let's try that again. I need one more hand. Well. All right, let me pull it again. I want to kind of cinch this pretty tightly. All right, let's see if this is going to go. Maybe I'm not liking this new glue gun. Maybe it's not ready. All right, well, let me put it on here. All right, so while we're waiting on that, we're going to come back to this. This is what we're going to make with that. And you can do, where did I do with, I had a hat. All right, this isn't the hat that I want, but you could take, and you could like put this on a hat. I had a white hat that I wanted to show this to y'all with. But you could put it on a hat. You can put, like make like 3 of these. Let me look up here. You can make like 3 of these, and you could turn this into a brooch for an outfit. You could put it on a belt buckle. Combine a lot of different things with this. So I'm going to come back to this because I want to be able to take advantage of all the time that I have. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a key fob. I made a project. What did I make? I made a couple of projects. This was one of them. Oh, everything's going to fall. I got an avalanche over here happen. Potential avalanche, y'all. All right, this is a totally dazzled cross that I made. And if you look at the top, see at the top, you can see there is this bling that I'm going to be working with. And then there's a piece of this bling right in here. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. And, but this was really fun to make because everything, well, there's like 2 or 3 pieces on here that don't, but everything else on here points to Jesus. There's snowflakes, though our sins are like crimson, now they are white as snow. There are butterflies on here. There's the crown and the scepter because he's the King of Kings. There's butterflies. There's hearts representing, there's 2 hearts together here. This is Jesus and me. And then there are other hearts up here with a key because he has the key to my heart. More hearts. There's like 3 hearts on here. The number 3, I did not intentionally do that, but the number 3 on this, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit show up a lot. There's 3 crosses, the 3 crosses at Calvary when Jesus was crucified. So this is probably one of my favorite pieces that I've made because it just so points to my Savior. All right, so this is what we have next, okay? I've got a 5 by 12 inch piece of fabric, 5 inches by 12 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to iron this. And then this is the leftover bling that I had. And so I'm thinking that what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a key fob. And let me spray this to make sure that that we start with it straight. Okay, I'm going to just iron this out. And if you have a smaller iron, you don't have to use this big old honking Cricut heat press. And I'm going to fold this in half. And I'm going to iron it. You know the difference between ironing and pressing? I didn't know that. I actually learned that not too long ago. I've been sewing since I was 13. Pressing is when you just hold it there. Ironing is when you move the iron around. And a lot of like quilters and things like that will press things out as opposed to ironing them out. All right, so there we go. So we've got that. This would have been a good time for me to pull my... Now we're going to take and we're going to, we're going to open this up. Good thing you didn't really miss anything. It's from Totally Dazzled. So now you've got a center line here, and you're going to come in here, and you're going to take the edge of this, and you're going to put it on the center line here. Now this is going to be tricky because this thing is heavy. I should have got the little guy out. All right, hold on a minute. There's my third hand. All right. This is going to help. And what this is going to do is this is going to give it some stability, but it's also going to hide those raw edges. All right. So there is that. And then we're going to bring this in. And I'm sure y'all know what the next step is going to be. All right, let me put that down. Just kind of hold that over here until I can pick this up. Just move those out of the way. Making it usually on with a key fob. What you do, I know I didn't either. And you know what else I found out? I started collecting about. Let me think. How long have I had my page? 5 years. So maybe almost 10 years ago, I started collecting vintage sewing machines. I have been saying my whole life. I'm 66. I have been saying pressure foot. It's a presser foot. So if y'all been saying pressure foot, it's not a pressure foot. It's a presser foot because it presses against the fabric. So there you go. So there's your tip for the day. We're never too old to learn that we've been doing something wrong most of our life, right? All right. So now we're going to take one last what do you call it? Press here, and I'm going to actually turn this up a little bit. I may have to turn it over too. Yes, exactly. The laundry uses a press to do my husband's shirts. That's exactly right. I made some like that, but not with, well, I tell you, it's a whole nother level when you do it with denim. I'll show you the ones that my prototypes that I made last night. That was a lot of fun. And I knew that the denim was going to be different, but it's like, you know, who was it? Emerald that says it kicks it up a notch, kicks it up lots of notch. Oh, wow, aren't you lucky? My mom said, I don't know that I'd say she was a seamstress, but my mom did sew. All right, let me pull this back just a little bit. Let's see if I missed anything. Okay, so let me show you the flowers. So here's a flower that I did with a chevron. And you could take and put that in the middle. You could just put maybe a pom-pom on there, depending on, you know, if you wanted something wild and funky, you could put something there. Then I also tried, see how how flimsy this is. I just could not get it to pull tight no matter how many times I tried it. But I actually put some, can y'all see the pearls in there? So this had some pearls in there. And then I started with a smaller one and it was too small. I would use the inside of a piece of tape, you know, a roll of tape. I just used the circle, the inside of that. So I had that. And again, you can take and you can put bling in this or, you know, whatever. And all this is, where'd my pom-pom go? Oh, here it is. All this is you take a pom-pom, you take a circle, and you do a running stitch around the circle. If I have time at the end, I'll actually show you. You take a circle, and then you have a running stitch around it, and then you put the pom-pom on the circle, and then you pull the threads, and it'll actually go right around the pom-pom, and then you just stitch it back and forth. And that'll give you, you can do like a red and white, like gingham plaid or something like that against this denim. That would be a lot of fun. All right, so now what I need to do is let's go ahead and we're going to put this on here, y'all, is what we're going to do. And I hope it's going to turn out. This is where my pearl and denims is going. And I thought, well, you know, it doesn't say that I had to have the denim and the pearls in the same project. I could have pearls in one project and denim in the other, and we would still be on theme, right? All right, so I need to, normally what we would do is we would stitch this about 1/8 of an inch down the side. Well, I don't have that luxury with me right now because my sewing machine is not near a camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take and I'm going to run a bead of hot glue, and I'm going to also run some B7000. I may have to go back and get that. I'm going to do some B7000 also for a better hold. I do not like the way this stuff smells, just for the record, y'all. It's just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. All right, put that in there. Make sure that that's going to hold. I think I'm going to make sure that this gets all the way to the edge. I just got this glue gun not too long ago because I needed something with a fine tip, and I'm glad I got it. All right. So let's see. Just going to make sure that that... All right, here's our key fob material. It's really pretty simple. You don't have to have these pliers, but it does save your fingernails. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half. And the idea is we're going to have the bling go on the outside. So let's see how this is going to work. So I need to have this much space. This is going to be like really, really thick. All right, so we're going to take this off of here. This part here. You know what? Before I do that, let's get the glue down. Let's get some glue down. I have used B7000 for a pair of jeans that I put rhinestones on. I can't fit in them right now because I've gained weight since I made them. But I took a chalk couture stencil and I stenciled flowers all over them. Y'all, they turned out so awesome. And all right, here we go. And then I'm going to take some hot glue on here, and hopefully we're going to be able to Fingers crossed. Doesn't look like that B7000 is sitting on top very well. It is like drinking right into that. You know, if we actually use this for a key fob, it's going to get a lot of stress, right? All right, so here we go. How we doing on time? Oh, 43, y'all. I'm doing good. All right, here we go. We're going to pull this off of here and hope that it's going to stick. If not, I'll do something off camera. And here we go. I'm going to kind of center it on here. And then let me get this mat off of here because I don't want any glue on this. I don't want to have to breathe those fumes every time I'd iron something. All right, so let me take this piece right here that is kind of loose, and I'm going to just add a little bit of glue here. And this one is a little bit loose. Okay. These are real 5 by 12 inch piece of fabric is all you need. 5 by 12 inch piece of fabric. And I'm glad I cut all this stuff ahead of time because there was just no way I was going to be able to get all this done. Okay, so this is what we have. We have pearls and denim together here, so I met the requirement. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fold this in half. Okay, there we go. And I've got a pair of pliers here. They got like little rubber things on them so that you don't damage the key fob. And we are going to keep our fingers crossed and pray that this is going to catch all 4 layers. All really 8 layers. All right, here we go, y'all. If not, I got another one. That's hanging down. It's got like little hooks on the underside. Thanks, Allison. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me, y'all. All right, so this is going to need a little bit of glue here. Or a lot. Okay, because that piece where I cut that. All right, let's see if we can go back. We're going to just let this sit for a while. Oh, and let me show you. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take a ring with the key fob, I don't know what you call it, hardware. You get this piece and this piece. They come together. And then this pair of pliers I bought separately. There we go. Let's see, you can do, I'll put it on my cheek. See how it's got like a little, like almost like a tooth right there? That's all you do is you take that little tooth part and you put it in between the spaces of that ring and it'll open it up and you can grab it. And then you take your ring and you put it, open it up so you can get it on there. And now you can just swing that around and you got a keychain. There you go, just like that. Quick, easy project. Quick, easy project. All right, so now we're going to take our flowers. Let's get our pliers out of the way. Put these over here because those have got to go in a different place. And we're going to see if we can, I don't know if this is going to be, all right, I'm going to see if I can get this to stick together. All right, I got a better idea. Let's do this side, and then we'll do the last side last. Go in here. I just want to tighten this up a little bit. Tuck that in. Well, I tell you what, I couldn't have bought this glue gun at a better time because I really needed it to get in between here. I'm just taking and putting a little bit of a dab of glue in between each one of these petals so that they'll kind of stay in place where I want them to be. And just kind of hold them. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to put these last two together. Let's see if I can get so y'all can see what I'm doing. And just kind of hold it together till it sticks. With you're probably tired. You've been moderating all day, haven't you, Allison? I'm not going to hold you to anything. We all have our limits. All right, so there we go. So there's our flower, okay? And then I'm going to cut these threads. Yep, there's a piece of diamond dust. I stopped using diamond dust, y'all, because I can't afford to get it in my feet. I can't reach my feet to get the glass out, so that would not be good. All right, so let's see. I think I like this piece on here. What do y'all think? You like that? So I'm going to do a combination of, all right, let's put this back on here. And let's do a combination. I don't know if this is going to work or not because it seems to really drink into this fabric. And normally I would take this off, this brooch part off of here, but because it's going to fit right in the hole, I don't know if it's going to work or not. All right, I got a different idea. Hold on. Hold that thought. I think what I want to do is I'm going to take one of these scraps of fabric. See if I have one big enough. All right, we're going to put this needle away so that it doesn't get lost because I don't need it anymore. These are my grandmother's needles, y'all. I asked her one time how long she'd been sewing, and she said she doesn't ever remember not sewing. This was made in Hong Kong, but she's been gone for, let's see, Adam is 30. She's been gone for 27 years, so long time. And, you know, she probably had this collection of needles that she'd had since forever. Fabric is what I'm looking for. I want to get a small piece of fabric, and I'm going to just go ahead. I don't want to use that because I don't want to waste that. It doesn't necessarily have to be a circle, right? So let's take and we're going to cover this. I'll just kind of straighten this out a little bit. Because it's going to be underneath. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I got an idea. We're going to glue this on here. Just kind of round the corners off a little bit so it doesn't look quite so square or rectangular-ish. Put like a little patch here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put some glue on the edges of this. Y'all know what I'm going to do? Anybody guess what I'm going to do? Why I'm doing this? I'll cover up this hole. And since there is a brooch, that is a brooch, I'm thinking that I might be able to just stick the pin through there and attach it that way. Let's try it and see if my theory is right. And then this way, if we wanted to, we could change this out. All right, I need a little piece of glue here. Does that make sense? Y'all, thank you for being here. I really appreciate y'all's support. All right, we're gonna wait till that's nice and dry, because glue stick doesn't come out of fabric ever, does it? I mean, it's like that's one thing you don't want it to get on. Thanks, Lisa. Hey, Rosa. Thanks, Rosa. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Ruby. This was fun. Pinterest inspired. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to take and stick this through here. I hope this is, my theory is going to work. And there we go. Ha ha ha! Look at that. Didn't even need the glue. And so what you could do is if you put a piece of fabric over that hole, here's the back of it. And of course you could take and put a piece of fabric over the back that looks really nice, maybe a round, another round center. And then if you wanted to, you could change that out with a variety of different pins, depending on what you're wearing that day, if you match your clothes with that. All right, now, last idea. I got 5 minutes. So we're going to take, maybe I'll just do one, because they're going to both be the same. So I want to show y'all this. This is how long I've had this. You see how little these pockets are? These are jeans that I saved from my boys when they were little. And they're probably maybe a size 2 or something. Maybe a 3. And so I wanted to make a quilt or something out of them. But I never got around to it. And I just went through and I cleaned out. I had all this denim and I threw it away. And but I saved those pants. I said, I want to do something with those. And so, where did my excess? All right, I guess I got to come in here and cut a piece of fabric off. And that's okay. These are my son's also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I want to make sure that I have a big enough piece. All right, that'll fit right there. All right, so see what I'm doing? I'm just going to take and I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to take this fabric and I'm going to glue it on here. Let's see what kind of glue I want to use. I think I'm going to use, is it Aleene's? Is that how you say it? I think I'm going to use that, y'all. We'll see. If it doesn't work, I've got more fabric, right? And I'm just going to get this started so that y'all can, these are just wood planks from Amazon. I think I paid $10 for the whole bag or something like that. There's like 50 pairs of earrings in there. All right, that's going to be more than enough. I'm only going to do one side so that y'all can see how to do this. All right, so after my parents went home to be with Jesus 10 days apart, all right, I'm going to cover up that hole, and then I'll just I'll use something to poke through that hole when I'm done. I got a little bit of money from them, and I bought a machine embroidery, sewing and embroidery machine. And so I learned how to embroider. And all right, here we go. We're going to stick this on here. Make sure that we get all the sides covered. Okay, so this is, I want you to see the back side of this. And so one of the things that I've got a really good pair of embroidery scissors somewhere in the house, and I've moved everything around so much that I don't know where they are right now. And so what you're going to do is after, you really want to wait till this is probably dry. But I don't have that time. I got 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to go right up to the edge of this earring. Okay, and you see how I've got a nice clean cut with that. And then I'm going to go all around. Now this is easy to do because this is a straight edge. If it's round, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. All right, so I'm just going to go, I'm looking at the back side of this so that I can see exactly where I need to cut. And I'm kind of using the edge of the earrings as a guide. Okay. Ta-da! So we got a denim earring. If that's all we wanted to do with it, we could do that, and then we could hang that from our, from our ears. I'm not going to do the hardware because, like I said, I'm new to working with jewelry, and I don't have the tools that that I really need for this. Now, what I wanted to do was, you can do a couple of things. You can take some Totally Dazzled bling. And add it to the front. Of course, you would center it and everything. You could add that. You could I've got some. Hold on, I'll show you. I've got gold and I have silver. I've got a real thin rhinestone that. Let me bring y'all in. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. I'm the last of the tribe here, y'all. You could put that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take and put this rhinestone all the way around this, and probably put like this in the center, and then I'll have to get the right kind of pliers to. But I think that would be so pretty. And so if any of you have like clothes from your kids that you've saved and you've been wanting something to do, this is like perfect because you can wear them all the time. It does not take a lot of fabric, and then you can zhuzh them up and make them look however fancy you want or however casual you want. And anyway, so that's a third idea. So a flower. So you've got the flower. 6. You decide what size circle you want. Just you cut 6 of them. Fold it. Run a needle through it, and then cinch your thread, and then put something in the middle. Then you've got the key fob, which I have managed to lose. I'm sitting right here, haven't gone anywhere. All right, and this is the key fob. You can make it as blingy or as plain. You can do this with plain fabric too, y'all. You don't have to do that with denim. And then the third thing is the earring idea. Okay? So that's what I have for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. Thanks for joining me. Hen House, and I always have to stop and think, Hen House and Bloom Company. Thanks for having me. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And if you're not following my page or the Hen House and Bloom page, if you'll hit the follow button, we would all appreciate that. Y'all have a great night, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.